Hey guys, Stone Cold 913 here with one half of the YouTube channel DamoNikki. Uh,
Close enough.
DamoNikki, how you want Damon Nikki?
Yeah, DamoNikki. Hi,
Damon
I'm
Nikki.
Damon. Nikki's not here today.
Ah, unfortunate. And we're just here. We're gonna talk about the one thing that is on everybody's lips today, and that is the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo's brand new console that they've announced today, early today. Not everybody, nobody knows too much about it, but what we do know is plenty to, sort of have opinions on. So,
Yeah, we have the trailer playing, right?
yeah, the trailer's going on right now. And, I mean, the first thing that, you get to see in the trailer is, the console hooked up to a television and, just somebody sitting there on his couch playing Zelda. But then, not too long after the trailer starts, he gets up, he deconstructs his whole controller, and then attaches it to this brick that's inside the console. Turns out,
Like it looks like it's like just a big like mobile tablet with
yeah,
Nintendo branding on it.
yeah,
I do have a concern about it though. Like those two little the parts that he takes off.
yeah.
I mean they're like old school memory card size. It's gonna be so easy to lose them, and I
Oh, yeah.
really hope that Nintendo has come up with a way to like put a little beeper on them. Like, oh man, I don't know where they're at.
Oh, I went down the side of the couch. Beep, beep, beep. Right?
I mean, my Samsung Gear can do that, so surely Nintendo knows what they're doing,
Yeah, I'm
but
sure.
maybe they don't.
They are really small. They're surprisingly small from, what the trailer, makes it look like. They're, it's several times during the trailer they show more than one person playing on the tablet, and they take the controllers off and turn them sideways, and they're supposedly full function controllers on their own.
Yeah, and that's another interesting thing. Like, it's the main controller deconstructs into two smaller controllers, and then in the trailer, there's people playing like Mario Kart, and if you look really closely, you can see King Boo, which I'm like, does that mean that there's DLC for Mario Kart 8? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Or it's Mario Kart 9, which means even more.
It'll probably be Mario Kart 9. But yeah, I mean, one of the things that, sort of concerns me is that they're showing a lot of this, local multiplayer with the controllers and splitting them from the tablet. And, that's a small screen. It doesn't look like it's going to be a very large device. And,
Yeah, but who's to say you can't do that while it's on the big screen as well?
oh, yeah, no, I'm sure you can do that while it's on the big
I
screen.
think in the trailer they're just wanting to showcase the fact that hey, if you want to go out and meet some friends, you can do that, or you can play at home. That's
Yeah.
kind of the whole point.
Yeah.
Like I think it's actually really cool that they're pushing this social gaming all the time, everywhere thing. But
Yeah.
I do see your criticism where like that is a really small screen to be playing some split screen racing games.
Yeah. And I mean, in the trailer they show the guys, get off the basketball court and set up two of them and start playing what I can only assume is like NBA 2K17 or 2K18. And games like that where you don't have to go split screen, I think that those will really work well, because instead of going split screen, everything's on the screen at one time and everybody just concentrates on their own little guy. But I feel like, the social aspect, unless, I mean, it looks like an 8 or 9 inch tablet, it's not going to be, spectacular.
I hope the resolution's at least 10 like 1080.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows there? It is a small screen, so I guess they could fudge it.
Yeah.
But with this one, I remember Nintendo saying that like we want to be taken seriously as a console developer again, and if they want to be taken seriously, they need to like really up their game. Everyone is a Nintendo fanboy. You're lying if you say you aren't.
I completely and totally agree. And
But
I
like
mean,
they do need to step it up because like I want to play Mario Kart again with everyone because everyone's gonna want this system. I hope.
Yeah.
However, criticisms, like I said, they showcase there's the controller, the snapping apart controller, and like, what if you lose it? That's one criticism. But then they show one that looks like the Wii U's Pro controller.
Yeah, that's been announced that you can get a Switch Pro controller, which instead of having the little slidable sticks that go on the mount, it's just a controller.
Yes, just a controller. Okay, then why even develop the other one?
I think that the other one is for people who are playing on the go. I think the Pro controller is meant so that you can leave the Switch controllers on the tablet while it's in the dock, and then you can play on with the Pro controller because they do show that about halfway through the trailer, um, the guy gets home, he docks the Switch, and then he grabs the Pro controller sitting right next to the base and just starts playing Skyrim.
Uh, but what I was getting at is like it's a more ergonomic style of controller. It's like like everyone started doing it, like especially with Xbox. It's like that same shape.
Yeah.
But why not integrate that with the main base controller anyway? Because let's admit, it looks like it's going to be weird to hold.
Well,
But like, why not integrate that other controller shape into the main thing? It
it
it just seems like
it looks like
it's a little
that's what they're
superfluous, is what I'm
doing.
saying.
Um, if I pull up, there's a couple of images that they put out with the Switch. If I look, the Joy-Con, the Joy controller, which is or Joy-Con, which is what they're calling um the the controller that you put the Switch controllers into.
Like the
Um,
main draw. Yeah, that.
yeah. So
And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to like criticize too heavily. I think it's actually very cool, and there's a lot they could do with it with like extra peripherals like the Wii has. Like some games might come with their own like left side or right side. I mean,
yeah,
like uh, bring back the Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Give me some little side bongos. I don't know.
right?
It could be really cool,
Yeah.
but I just want to know why they're even introducing this other controller
Well,
and
like,
not just giving it to you anyway.
yeah. So like, I'll put a photo up in Discord that I'm putting on the on screen right now. Um, find it in my folder. Da 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 da. Upload. You can see there in that photo, right underneath the one that he's actually pulling out of the controller. You can see what looks like the handle of like an Xbox controller. So I think that they did add in some ergonomics to
Okay,
the
because
Joy-Con.
it was a major concern of mine because I'm like that's just
Yeah.
it looks very sleek, sure, but will holding it be comfortable? Because you remember the Nintendo controller is
Oh
all like
yeah.
rigid and hard.
Oh yeah.
You can play about an hour of Mario before your fingers start to bleed,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's
no,
how
I
we did it
remember
back in
this.
my day, and
I
we liked
remember
it.
those days. Oh, come on. As if Nintendo hasn't had insane controller designs. Do you remember the 64 controller?
You mean the beautiful trident of power?
You mean that? Yeah, I mean you hold the middle of the trident if you ever want to do anything other than press a D-pad. And it's
Oh,
got.
as soon as this thing was released to the press, people started photoshopping pictures of the controller, and one of them I found was an N64 styled Switch thing.
Oh
It's
my
actually really
god.
funny.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, hopefully the ergonomics are there. We haven't gotten any 360 photos of the controller or anything. Um. But I mean, going back to what you were saying before about the graphics and the resolution, um, Nvidia has announced that their Tegra series processors, they're designing a custom chip just for the Switch. That they're saying is going to be based off the top performance GeForce gaming graphics cards. So hopefully, going to be like a Tegra 10 series. Um, so hopefully it'll have the horsepower behind it to drive some games. Because I mean, in the trailer they do show the Switch playing things like Skyrim and Splatoon and this big open world Zelda game that they're coming out with. Um,
Breath of the Wind.
yeah, Breath of the Wind. Um,
Nintendo Switch aside, I'm so hyped for that game.
right? It looks fantastic. It looks like what we want out of like if Nintendo made Skyrim, that's what we want.
It's like Nintendo finally heard me personally and said, "You know what? I guess we'll just stop remaking Ocarina of Time and try something new for once." Yeah,
Yeah.
you heard me, Nintendo fanboys.
Yeah.
Fight me.
Yeah, and I mean, having something like an Nvidia graphics card in the Switch tablet, which I assume is going to be what's driving the whole experience, whether or not it's in the dock, because it doesn't look like you can play without the tablet in the dock unless you can charge it. Because that was something that actually I was talking about to somebody else today. They were asking whether or not you can use the tablet while you're playing on the TV, sort of like how the Wii U worked. And I don't think that you'll be able to do that. I think that the whole system, the crux of the system, is going to be the tablet.
I
Which,
think I think the tablet itself is the system
yeah, that's what I'm getting at is like,
because you put the cartridge in the tablet and
yeah,
then it's on that little base, and I think that's like a essentially like a capture card that sends it to your TV to stream,
yeah,
perhaps like that. Also, not a lot of people are talking about that Nintendo has decided to go with cartridges on their main console.
yeah. Well, I mean,
So they announced that they were going to, but I don't hear enough people making a big deal about that. And I
yeah,
think that's very important.
yeah. It'll definitely sort of change the how we use games and everything.
I don't expect Microsoft or Sony to follow suit or anything, but with Nintendo, that really shows that they're pushing for this like take them to your friend's house and go play together.
Yeah.
And maybe they're wanting to be like, you can play. I'm totally speculating here, but like, hey, did you know you could play your 3DS games too?
That's what I was
Like,
thinking was like they're announcing the Switch now, give them a year and they'll announce like the next 3DS or whatever. Or I mean maybe because the Switch is portable, maybe the Switch is going to kill their, handheld line and there won't be another 3DS or whatever, but if there is, maybe they'll announce it that it's compatible with Switch games so that you can have
if it does kill their 3DS line, or I don't like using the word kill, uh,
if it
evolve
yeah,
their
if
3DS
this
line.
is the evolution of
If
Nintendo's
they
hardware.
go ahead.
Oh, no, no. If this is the evolution of Nintendo's hardware and, their whole hardware division, then, you know, if it doesn't make sense to have announced something like the Switch and then, a year down the line to announce another 3DS if they're both using cartridges because it will probably one confuse people and two make people think, well, why do I need to buy two separate cartridges when I could just when you could just make the cartridges work in both because like I think that that's something that people have been saying about a long time about handheld consoles like the PSP and the 3DS and the Vita is that the reason that we haven't been able to play the reason that there was a whole separate marketplace for mobile games and console games is the fact that the media that they were released on DVDs, Blu-rays, and what have you hasn't been compatible with the smaller devices.
Yeah, and I really think Nintendo is like, I think they've seen that like their their console sales are admittedly lackluster compared to the other two major players in the game, but they kill it when it comes to handhelds.
Well, they
So
they
maybe
own the
Nintendo has been like, why don't we just bridge the gap and essentially make a new genre? And if it does kill their 3DS, like we were talking about, imagine what that does for their handheld technology.
yeah
Now their handheld games have bridged the gap into console style games,
yeah.
meaning like the next Pokemon could be mind blowing.
Oh my God, yes, it could. You
I
we
mean,
could
and Sun and Moon already looks so good.
right. I mean, we could be going from the sort of top-down fourth or fifth person view of the current Pokemon games to something more akin to what Pokemon Coliseum used to be back on the GameCube. You remember that game?
I do. Good times.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we could completely, after Sun and Moon come out, the next evolution of the Pokemon games could be a Fallout or Skyrim level open world game in the art style and design of, Pokemon Coliseum. Because I mean, it's been, how many years since there was a console, like a television level console Pokemon game. It's always been on their handheld, platforms, save for Pokemon Coliseum and I think Coliseum Dark or something.
Yeah. I just really think this emphasis on mobility will probably pay off. And like we were talking before we even started this podcast, it's like Nintendo is like, you know what's gonna sell us some consoles? Gimmicks. And it didn't work out for the Wii, didn't work out for the Wii U, but it's somebody went to their marketing department and was like, why don't we just do it all
Yeah.
in a very, very sexy way?
Yeah, I mean it's the, Ortega Taco's little girl going, why not both?
Amen. ¿Por qué no las dos?
Exactly. And I mean there'll probably be, plenty of accessories for this thing that make it, more of a powerhouse than it already looks cuz I mean like we were talking about before, the controllers don't look very, big, and they look like, trying to do multiple people will be a little bit, difficult, not only because of the screen size, but because of the fact that the controllers are a little small. So they'll probably come out with, small portable full controllers, so like a Pro Mini.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Just like, in short, I think they're trying to please everybody,
Yeah, which
and
if
it really looks like it might pay off.
yeah, I mean, they definitely might have a home run on their hands with this, in trying to um what am in trying to please everybody, they might be able to actually do it.
Like they're pleasing everybody, but they're not trying to overextend. They're like,
Yeah.
we know what we do well.
Yeah.
Here you go.
And I
And
mean,
not only that, and I think the best part is how soon they're releasing it because they got everybody excited and they're like, now you just gotta wait like 6 months.
yeah, it's coming out
So you're
March
like,
2017. So, I mean,
oh
that's
boy,
right
I'm
around the
excited.
corner,
Shaking in my boots.
right? I wasn't I when I saw the Wii U and I saw, that it wasn't really much of a update to the Wii, from the Wii other than giving it, HD and the controller. I wasn't really excited. It didn't, do anything for me when the Wii U came out. But this is revolutionary. At
Yeah,
least
I've not been excited about a Nintendo console since the GameCube,
yeah.
and like they finally got me like giddy with excitement.
Yeah. And
And we've criticized a little bit, but like my criticisms are so minor, and I'm just like, oh my god, did you see the new Zelda? Did you see that they're reaching out for third-party support, which they haven't done since the GameCube? Oh my
yeah.
goodness, Nintendo's being a game developer again. Oh god.
Well, I mean, not only are they being a
Speaking,
developer again, but they're also being, a major, manufacturer. Because, what is Microsoft? Sony and Microsoft both, they make their own first-party games, but the biggest thing they bring to the table is the third-party support, and that's the thing that Nintendo's been lacking since GameCube, like you were saying. So, them sort of following that idea that you need other developers to come in to make games for your console to get more, higher adoption rate.
like you've polished your system enough. Now let other people come in and bedazzle it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've got two things I need to say
Okay.
about the Switch. One, the the Mario little demo that they showed off wasn't anything we've seen before.
No, no, that could be a new,
Oh,
third-person Mario
I can
platformer.
almost guarantee that's a new Mario.
Oh
For
yeah.
one, it's not curved, which means it's not a galaxy game. And if you watch closely, Mario does a triple jump, which he's not done since Mario 64.
Yeah. we
And guess what was a launch title on the Nintendo 64?
Mario World or Super Mario
Uh,
World
uh, Super Mario 64.
64. Been a while.
Yeah,
64 is old. Granted, I have one sitting right next to my foot, but
but like, point is, we might get like a really cool Mario game that
yeah,
they were low key showing off right then.
right? I
And
mean,
then,
there's a lot of stuff
we,
that they could be hiding in here.
and number two, my second little point. So Bayonetta is now like a Nintendo sweetheart, right?
Yeah.
If they don't market the next Bayonetta game as Nintendo's Witch, I will quit being alive. I'm done.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
really, and you're welcome.
yeah, exactly. Um, and I mean, just talking about third-party support, ba-
Platinum
Nin-
Games.
Nintendo came out with a list of, third-party developers that have committed to um, supporting the Switch. There's a
There's some
lot of
major players too.
yeah, there's some really there's some names in there that are really awesome from, just a gaming standpoint and, the possibilities there, but there's also some names that are surprising to be there in any case. I mean, granted, we've got 505 Games, the publisher behind the Payday series and many other, AAA titles. Activision, known, worldwide for Destiny and Call of Duty. Um,
Yeah,
Bandai, Capcom, EA,
I
Epic
noticed Konami
Games.
was on there.
Huh?
I noticed Konami was on there, which is very interesting considering their recent past.
You wonder who's really interesting that's on that list? From Software. Do you know what From Software makes?
They're the Dark Souls guys.
Exactly. Can you imagine mobile Dark Souls?
I prefer not to, because that's a dangerous game to be on a mobile system.
Right? Oh my god, damn it! And throws the tablet across the room like a ninja star. I
Maybe they're
can.
gonna make it durable. Maybe it's gonna be durable, and they know that.
Durable, waterproof, shockproof.
Has a headphone jack. Suck it, Apple.
I love that like having the headphone jack is like a big thing
Did
now.
you saw that, right?
Oh
They're
yeah,
like,
no, they zoomed right
they
into
zoom in on the trailer that there's a headphone jack, and that's a stab at Apple if I've ever seen one.
that's low key, fire going towards Apple. But I mean, some of the names that are on this list of developers that are coming for the Switch, one of the big ones that I'm really interested in about is Autodesk Incorporated. Autodesk isn't a game developer at all. They make art and 3D design software. So maybe
Yeah, in
we'll be
college I
getting
worked with them actually.
yeah. So maybe, that this will be more than just a gaming console. Maybe it'll have other applications. It could be Nintendo's, we're going for everything. This is our make or break moment kind of design. Having companies like Autodesk and Audio Kinetic could mean that they're trying to build essentially the better Shield tablet.
Oh, side note, it's important to me, but probably not important to anyone else. If this thing doesn't have amiibo support, I'm done.
They've
I
got
bought so many of them.
if Nintendo doesn't add support for those things in every single little thing they make, then riots will ensue.
I'm already so close to writing. They're like, we're gonna make so many amiibo supported games, and they did like four.
Yeah,
Like, hey, Nintendo, most of us can count past four. That's not so many.
yeah, right. Um,
But I do think that Nintendo knows who their audience is now. They know that everyone who played Mario back in the day is in their 20s and 30s, and that is this new system is definitely geared towards us.
yeah, on the move, sort of the adults, people are on the move. They're on buses, they're on trains, they're on planes, they're traveling and commuting to work, you
They're
know.
playing basketball in like the ghetto, and then also having like rooftop parties and
Yeah, sitting out in, Central Park with their dog, letting the dog run around without even looking at the dog.
playing this unreleased Mario game, and then they look out the window and they're like, "Come party
Oh,
with us," and we're like, "Hell yeah!" And I'm like,
yeah.
"I wish I had friends."
That's one of the things that I'm interested to, find out more about is, there's several scenes in the trailer where they have multiple switches, within close proximity. I'm wondering if these things will have either a data connection, to work with your, cellular provider for, cellular data multiplayer, or if they'll
Or
have, you know,
go infrared like their 3DSs do.
yeah, or maybe even something like, low power Bluetooth 4.0 technology to, sync up data.
I can see that. Oh, I
Um,
was talking with some of my day job buddies about this thing, and a very a major selling point to me would be a low price point
right?
because the PS4 Slim came out, and like I don't even want to talk about the PS4 Pro. I'm furious about it,
Yeah,
but the PS4 Slim is 299, I believe. The Xbox One S
is
is
299.
also 299 to start. If this thing like it looks like they have a lot of technology packed in it, but they're gonna have to start with a low price point or nobody's going to get it.
Yeah. I mean, there
But
trust me,
I'm sure that
somebody will buy it no matter what.
oh yeah, like me.
Yeah, but they're not going to make their money on it unless unless they're competitively priced. And well, I mean, what's the price of a 3DS right now? Like the new 3DS they just came out with, like
I
100,
think I saw one for 179.
yeah, like 150, $180. So if this thing isn't either that price or, within $50 of that price point, then, you know, you're
I'm
gonna have,
saying 299 is the top that they can go. If they go any higher than that, they're gonna hurt themselves.
yeah, with, Microsoft and Sony coming out with their slimmer, cheapened not cheapened, they made the production process a lot cheaper for themselves, but, getting these price points down, especially considering, and while yes, the release date is amazing. We're getting it in 6 months. They're gonna miss a huge opportunity, where Microsoft and Sony are gonna have a lion's share of the marketplace is this holiday season. They announced this thing in the middle of October, and it's coming out in March of 2017, right after Christmas. I'm kind of concerned.
I can see the concern there, but and I for the most part I agree with you. But I think it might also be a smart move not competing with
Oh yeah,
these new systems. They're like where people might see these things as like why is Sony and Microsoft trying to do like a major console release, but it's only just like a slightly upgraded version of what they've already made.
yeah,
And like I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people see that as like a cheap tactic because it's not a new system; it's just an upgraded system.
yeah. Well, I
And
mean,
Nintendo might be waiting this out and being like, well, these things aren't going to sell like they think they are.
oh
I
hell
really
no,
don't think they will.
no.
But and just waiting a little bit and then beat everyone to the punch on the next go around.
Yeah, yeah, and I
But
mean,
which I think is very smart.
yeah,
But that's also what the Dreamcast did.
yeah.
They tried to
Which,
beat everybody, and this would really suck if the Nintendo Switch becomes the Dreamcast 2.
right? I mean, it was, who was it that killed the Dreamcast and Sega in general? It was Nintendo and Sony at the time.
It would
So,
be like bitter irony.
yeah, it would be irony. It would be, what everybody fears. Don't, follow the mistakes of the past. But I don't think that Nintendo's going to have any issues with this tanking. I think that there's going to be enough people that are going to buy this and get, adopt this to sort of offset the cost for Nintendo and make it worthwhile. But what they really need is they need that wide adoption. And I think that if they hope to get this in people's hands, they're gonna have to have that low price point to entice people, and then they're gonna have to push this thing really really hard. I mean, with the when the Wii U came out and when the Wii came out, well, when the original Wii came out, their advertising was on point, and everybody knew what the Wii was when it came out. With this, they're really gonna
Yeah,
need
and
to push it.
everybody got one. And the downfall of the Wii U was that there was no marketing.
Yeah,
And I again, this goes to show that they are stepping up their marketing game because this trailer alone got me so stoked.
right. It it
They keep it
showcased
up, and
everything.
everyone's gonna get one,
Yeah,
and that's what matters.
exactly. So they've already got their best foot forward with this thing, and it's just a matter of follow through because there's a lot of potential. Like we said, having that Nvidia Tegra graphics card in there is already telling people that they're serious. Because I mean, not to say that AMD isn't a good card manufacturer, but I mean the Wii and the Wii U both ran AMD cards, so this thing running an Nvidia card really says that Nintendo has looked at their past, they've learned, they're going to have a better, it's going to have the power hopefully. Granted the Tegra is a mobile processor, so running games at 4K on a 60-inch television is going to be interesting unless they have some special technology in the dock. But you
Well,
know,
hell, with Nintendo, you never know. They might be like reverse engineering some alien crash site for all we know.
Nintendo is like low key genius. I mean, they've been around longer than everybody, and there's a reason.
They've been around longer than gaming has been.
Yeah,
They, uh, that just goes to show they know what they're doing.
yeah,
I have faith in Nintendo.
yeah. And I mean, even the Wii U wasn't terrible. It wasn't a failure. It just wasn't what people wanted.
Yeah,
And
I have one, and like I bought Mario Maker. They know what they're doing with that. They're making me make levels. You're welcome.
yeah, I mean, Mario Maker is inspired. It itself has inspired other games. So I
Oh,
mean,
and one more thing I would like to touch on from the trailer. It looks like they might be looking into esports, which is interesting.
yeah, that was an interesting, choice.
Which
Um,
could mean like an adoption of, say, Smite, which
it,
is pretty popular right now, or Rocket League even.
it
And the reason I say that is because I love Rocket League.
Oh, Rocket League, sort of exploded, and
Out of nowhere, and I think
exactly,
Nintendo would be absolutely ridiculous not to throw their hat into that,
yeah.
especially for like all the Nintendo exclusive skins that you could put on your
Oh
cars.
my
That would be
God,
cool.
the Mario hat as an antenna. I mean,
Stop, please. I can only get so erect right now.
um, well, I mean, Smite and Rocket League would be something that would definitely have to come um, later. I know that on that list that Nintendo released, I'm coming right back to this list of dead, committed developers. Psyonix, developers of Rocket League, and High Res, developers of Smite, they're not on that list.
Well, this is just like it was like a launch list, right?
Yeah, this is well, it's not even a launch list, which is also why I still have hope. Is that this isn't a list of companies that have a game coming out. It's a list of companies that have said, "All right, Nintendo, you've got something, and it's an interesting concept, and we're willing to, try and develop something for it." It's not a guarantee. It's not a binding contract. It's they reached out to a bunch of developers, and the developers said, "Yeah, we'll look into it." And Nintendo's, putting it out there that these guys are considering, putting a game on their console. It's already been announced, not announced, but Bethesda, whose name is on that list, has already, commented that Skyrim will not at launch be on the Switch.
Oh yeah,
Um,
they're saying maybe.
yeah,
I think.
they're saying maybe. It's not going to be a launch title, but it might come down the line. And by the time this game comes out, Skyrim Special Edition will already be 6 months old.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Bethesda's just saying that uh to see if the Switch takes off
Yeah,
first.
yeah. Nobody's gonna make a commitment on something as brazen as this. I mean,
You know, it's so make or break, and they don't want to attach their name to that.
yeah,
But we'll see. Uh, but again, like I said, I have a lot of faith in Nintendo with this. I haven't been this excited about a Nintendo system since the GameCube,
yeah.
and like
There's
they're doing something so different than everyone else, and different in a good way this time instead of like cheap motion controls or like a second screen that nobody's going to adopt. Like
yeah,
this is just a console you can take everywhere, and that's super neat.
yeah. So I mean, there's a lot. Nintendo's got a lot riding on this, but they do have a lot of potential. They've really set themselves up to succeed. They just have to follow through on it. They have to have the third party support, and they have to have, reliable tech.
Like to put it into the sports terms, uh, it's like they got it on the fast break. They're going up for a layup. They just don't need to fuck it up.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's so easy right now for them.
Yeah, nobody's expecting anything out. Nobody's expect. I haven't been. I'm sure you haven't been expecting anything insane from Nintendo for the last couple of years. And seeing this is really Nintendo saying, "Hey, you were wrong. You know, we're up in our game." So
Check this shit out.
exactly, they're putting everybody. This is a notice that Nintendo is still a big name. They in the days of the N64 and the PS1, and then when the PS2 and the Xbox and the GameCube came out, I mean Nintendo slowly and slowly lost the market share of the living room, and this is Nintendo putting Microsoft and Sony on notice saying we're coming.
Nintendo used to be the king of the entertainment center, and it's like they want their crown back. That's
Yeah,
cool. I like it.
exactly. So I mean, there's a lot of work that needs to be done on Nintendo's part to make this success, but they've got everybody's attention. So it's exciting. But I mean, that's about all we know right now. Um, the form factor, tablet with a docking station that drives your television, removable controllers, the Pro controller, um, cartridge,
Uh, car-
cartridge-based gaming.
Third-party developers have
At least,
attached their names.
yeah. Local multiplayer, which will be amazing. That's what sort of drives mobile gaming is being able to play with your friends, right there in person. Um, so it,
Just like the mobility, the social aspect, the screen resolution. The first-party games are going to be, from the looks of it, phenomenal. The new Zelda's going to be out on it. I'm sure they're going to put a Mario game on it at launch because they have for every generation of consoles since they've started.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't have the launch of a Nintendo console without at least a Mario game. So, we sort of already know what's coming at the beginning of the lifespan of the Switch. It's what comes within the intervening months and years, of the Switch's lifespan, getting that third-party support and um, maintaining, you know, maintaining the system. Can't just put it on autopilot.
Just in short, things are looking really good. I'm excited. I hope they don't screw up.
Yeah,
That's
same.
really all I gotta say.
I agree. Don't screw it up, and this thing will be a hit. But yeah, And I know I'm gonna be keeping up with the Switch, until it comes out. I'm sure Damon's gonna be keeping up with the Switch. Um, but until Nintendo releases some new information, this is all we got, and everybody's gonna keep their eye on it. So keep it peeled for any new information that comes out about the Switch. We'll see at the next video. Later, guys.
All right. Bye bye.
Hey, thanks for checking out our roundup of the Nintendo Switch. Consider watching my previous video, my GTX 1080 Waterforce Edition from Gigabyte unboxing, and head over to DamoNikki's channel and give him a subscribe. Consider hitting the like button and the subscribe button on my channel. It always helps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.